So let's go ahead and move on. With that being said, let's go.
And you know, as
Tracee Ellis Ross.
much as grief does surface for me around not having children and not having a partner, I still wouldn't want the wrong partner.
That's a great point for people to hear.
I'm not interested in that. You have to make my life better. It can't just be, you know, I'm in a relationship to be in a relationship. So even though the grief does emerge and that comes and I hold that, I think of what I've done and I woke up every morning trying to do my best. I didn't wake up one morning and be like, I'm going to mess this day up.
That's right.
So I must be where I'm supposed to be. And I don't know. Sometimes I think of all of the things I've done, the courage that I've had to have and what I've had to learn how to navigate as a single person with no one to hide behind.
Yeah.
And it's built a really beautiful experience around me. And I have incredible friends. And you know, as the reasons though that, cause I had to ask myself that question. I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Because I want a partner. And so often, and it's not just that I'm older, I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous?
There's that.
But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize and I have no interest in it. And I will. The reasons though that will not do it again.
I'm sorry.
No,
Craig.
I was going to say, so it's a generational thing. So it didn't matter how you met them, or is it just kind of the guys you're meeting?
That's obviously
too big of a generalization.
It's a generalization, but because I have dated men my age, there is a difference. There is an openness that occurs with a younger man around whether it's gender fluidity or not even having an issue with homosexuality. I mean, something as basic as that there's times where I'll be, you know, sitting across the table from somebody and just like, what did you just say?
Yeah, what century are you?
Like, oh my God.
Where's your horse and buggy?
Yeah, like, I'm so sorry.
And your bedpan.
Yeah, for real.
Chamber pot.
Yeah, your chamber pot. Your chamber pot. Like, where I'm just like, yeah, this is not a match.
Yeah.
And I have long been past the age where I feel like it's my job to teach somebody or grow them up.
Yeah.
That I'm not interested in. So, but it's interesting. I mean, there's so many different philosophies on dating. And I have not come up with mine. I have come up with what works for me and what makes sense for me and what feels safe for me.
Yep.
You know, I mean, like I'm not on dating apps. I have friends that have great success with dating apps, but that's just not something I'm comfortable with.
So you're meeting folks in the wild then?
That's the only way for me, or someone sets me up or I meet them at an event. I meet someone. It's usually people that also have a level of recognition that they, you know, have as much to lose as me to a certain extent. I don't know. I mean, I haven't had great luck lately, but I do have to say I'm moving up on what it is that I'm looking for as a match. Come up with mine. I
love her. I love her so much. And I love when she speaks on her outlook of dating and relationships, because I feel like we are, like she said, you're looking at a full, robust human being, a woman who has done so much in her life, that is successful, that is beautiful. Like she checks off all of these boxes that men would like to put her in. But what she has learned is it's her life. It's her decision. I'm not going to be with somebody just so I can be with somebody. I absolutely respect that, because I'm the same way. I'm not about to be with nobody just so I can have a partner. That's fucking dumb. Like, and you do feel loneliness sometimes. Like, for instance, with me, I go out by myself all the time. I have my friends, but my friends have other shit going on. And, you know, like 2 of my friends are out of town. One of my friends probably going to be with her man. You know what I'm saying? My man works all the time. So a lot of times I go out by myself and I'm good with that. Does it sometimes feel, I won't say it feels lonely, because I always see people I know, but there are times where it's like, damn, I wish I was here with a friend of mine so that I can engage in some type of conversation, or that I could, you know, just be here with someone who's here with me. But I also like being able to move around as I see fit. I don't like waiting on people. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I would just rather move as I see fit. And I remember being a young girl, I was never allowed to go anywhere. I wasn't allowed to do anything. And even in my adult life, my mom would consistently, you going by yourself? Be careful. Well, where's Lyric? Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. I am a grown woman. I should be able to walk around in this life without you asking me where my owner is all the time. That my mom, other people, well, where's Lyric? Where? In his fucking skin. In his skin, wherever he is. And then they assume because I actually go out and do things on my own that we must not still be together and shit like that. It's like, nah, I'm definitely gonna be in the bed with him tonight. You know what I'm saying? We'll see each other. All right. But I am very much a loner. I am a person that has spent a lot of time alone. When I was a kid, I'm the kid who stays in her room and plays with her dolls and watches TV. Like, I was able to really build being alone from a child because my parents was, it depends on what they're going through. If they good this week, then I'm going to stay in my room because they're good this week. If they going through it and they having an issue, then I might spend more time with my mom. And then when me and my dad are alone, I might spend time with him. But all in all, I'm going to be in my room on my own, because if I'm in my room and I'm on my own, then I'm not doing anything to upset anybody. I'm not aggravating anybody by just breathing or humming or moving around too much. You know what I'm saying? So I very much have learned to love my alone time. And if I was in a marriage that I was not happy in, I would not be in it because I can take care of myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga got to show up as a partner to me. So I definitely understand where she's coming from. I wanted to read this comment. I love her to death, but she is my nightmare. To end up with no partner and no kids at 52 is the exact opposite of what I want for my life. So in a way, I kind of feel for her. You want somebody there and you want some children to carry on your legacy. I don't know about y'all, but I do. And you are entitled to want that. But making it seem as if a beautiful, successful, youthful woman is a nightmare in comparison to you being with a man and having children, when we know what that looks like in real life. So for you to call Tracee a nightmare, and that's another thing. What the fuck do y'all think legacy is? What do you think legacy is? Legacy is not just your DNA being carried out. Because I would like for you to know, whether you have children or not, your DNA is still going to be carried out because you have other family members that share your DNA. Okay? But your legacy is about what you do with your life, how you affect people. And I need for everybody to understand, no matter what your legacy is, at some point you will be forgotten. Everybody is. At some point, you will go into the level of ancestry where you are no longer a memory for a lot of people. So what, and that's why I believe in reincarnation and we die and we come back. That's why I believe that, because to me, I don't have to have kids. I'll be here again. I don't have to do any of this shit y'all are talking about. I'm going to die and come back. I'll be here again. I'll be here again, and for some reason I know I'll still be carrying the same spirit that I have now, because my spirit is a culmination of all the spirits and all of the versions of life that I've had already. So I'll always show up being here. Souls are energy. Energy is never destroyed. It is just transferred. You don't ever really die. So this whole concept of the way y'all think about legacy is weird. And to me, everybody, hey, Chrissy sounds like a codependent person. Y'all think that not having a man means nobody else is around, when the truth of the matter is women outlive their husbands anyway. So you could be 52 years old, like my mama was, and burying your husband. Then you could have children that have had to deal with your codependency in your relationship, so you don't always have your children to depend on. Now, me and my sister are very much like, you know, we love our mom. So it's never going to be like you're going to be out here, you know, at some nursing home and ain't nobody going to be taking care of you. It's never going to be that. But at the same time, you are not entitled to see your children as caregivers. And a lot of y'all do that. So it gives, you're having children for codependency, and because you're scared of being alone, and then you want somebody to take care of you. When I say get a life, I mean get a hobby, bitch. Find shit that you like that doesn't have anything to do with codependency. Okay? And a lot of people was mad at what Tracee said about older men being toxic. And I don't even feel like she look, because you get the difference between the way sites label shit. We heard her whole statement of what she was talking about. She's not saying all older men are toxic, but she's saying in her experience of dating them, they think a certain way and they are stuck in their ways. I don't jive with that. I'm not going to try to fix you. I'm not going to try to bring myself down to stay with you. No, I'm just going to move around you because guess what? I am good with who I am. I like being by myself. Yes, we all like to interact with other people. You want to bounce off somebody's energy. You want to see yourself reflected back in the next person. Yes, but that does not mean that you are desperate for it. And a lot of y'all are desperate for it. Okay. I remember I was trying to see because I thought I had saved the one that somebody left a stupid comment. This was it. Let me see. Using terms like toxic masculinity and I was control explains a lot. What does it explain, sir? What does it explain? Let's see. Fake made up buzzwords. They're not. First of all words are made up. Let's start there. It's not fake. It's a real word. Toxic is a real word. Control is a real word. I feel like men on social media are so upset because the things that they used to be able to like hide, women are now talking about and putting words to and calling a thing a thing. And I've noticed how much y'all get mad about people calling a thing when it comes to control and abuse. Y'all really don't like that. You know, not y'all, but y'all. Y'all really have a disdain for the fact that we can now see it and we are no longer caught in a cloud of illusion about what's happening and what this is really about. For instance, I'm gonna say it again. We wanted to say Princella was wrong, but when Princella said that you niggas do not know what love is, she was right. She was absolutely right. To me, it is more plain now than it has ever been before that men don't actually feel love. Men feel dependency. They convince women to feel love so that women will be the person that they can be dependent on. Women are in some type of love. Men are using you for the love they know you feel. That's how I feel. Okay. So that's another reason why anytime I see any type of imbalance, cut that shit off. Cut that shit off. Because that imbalance is letting you know that they're with you and telling you that they love you because they want you to love them so that they can use you. That's why it feels imbalanced. So this is what he said. Exactly. There's plenty of blue collar men that will give her what she's looking for. You don't even know what she's looking for. Unfortunately, they don't qualify for her. She doesn't even see those men. So this is a man that doesn't make any money. This is a man that feels insecure about his lack of status that is now imposing on Tracee Ellis Ross that she's just ignoring a group of men that would be good for her. Y'all have heard Tyler Perry say this. Y'all have heard Iyanla say this. But everybody is always trying, ever since the early 2000s, y'all have been trying to convince Black women who are highly successful that the reason why they have not found happiness is because they're superficial. Yes and no. As we talked about last night on the Ooh Ladies First panel, there are young women that aren't looking for the right things in a partner all the time. But what we have seen even more is that whenever women who have a lot do give these men a chance, these men resent the women for having more. And then what do? They have to humble you. They have to humble you. They have to make you feel less than, pick you apart. And then don't forget, if you have more, they're going to rest in their feminine and use you. A lot of them do that. So yeah, no. He also said instead she would prefer a man that's on her level, status-wise, attractiveness, and has a particular income. So you mad because she doesn't want to stoop down to your level to come and get you because she wants somebody that she feels equally yoked with. Y'all are upset about that. Y'all always want women to lower their standards for y'all instead of y'all lifting where you are in order to meet where our standards are. The men that she wants or prefers have multiple options, and most of them choose not to be monogamous. So the men can have whatever they want. The men can have all of their preferences, but when Tracee has her preference, now all of a sudden she's wrong. So since she can't control that, it's defined as toxic. No, it's defined as toxic for a plethora of reasons. Homophobia is toxic because you hate gay people. That's toxic. Y'all thinking that these stark gender roles is a control mechanism. It's toxic. We're not defining it as toxic simply because the men that we want, we can't get. No. We're defining it as toxic because it is. I need you to look up the definition of toxic. But that wasn't him. The main, because I wanted to come to his comment. So his account is private, right? His account is private. Look at him. Look at his face. So I go to the other one. He's a basketball coach of some sort. So look at you. Who you like? Look at this man, y'all. Look at this man. This man, I can look at him and see how insecure he feels about himself. It doesn't matter. Look, legends. He's a great coach, all of that. But look at you in the fucking comments. Look at you in the comments, mad because a woman is saying men of a certain age are controlling and have toxic traits. You in the comments mad about it. But when I look at you, I see why you're mad. You're not as attractive. You don't have as much money. And you are mad at a woman like Tracee Ellis Ross for being attractive, being 52, being able to get these young men, having her own money, and not being dependent upon anybody enough to just take any old thing. You're mad about just the example of that. Why? Because you realize that women like Tracee Ellis Ross convince other women that they don't have to deal with your unattractive, insecure ass simply to have a man. And that's what y'all want. Y'all want all of the women to feel fear. Or like your girl said in a comment, oh, this is my nightmare to end up alone with no children at 52. Okay? Y'all use that to force women to be in unequitable relationships. Y'all use that to push women into a corner of staying in an unhappy place to suit your comfortability. And yeah, we're not doing that no more. We're not doing that no more. So shout out to Tracee Ellis Ross. I feel like this was a great conversation. And I feel like, you know, all of these niggas always tell on themselves. Y'all all tell on yourselves. We can tell that you're tired. Look at y'all in the comments, not even listening to what she said, but superimposing your male logic that is all about escaping accountability, using your male logic and projecting it onto what she's saying. Once again, menning, okay? He's a man and he's manning because no matter what her experience is, he's going to tell her experience. You just don't want to date them because you're not looking at them. They not on. I don't want to be with a broke man that's going to be mad at me and resenting me for the rest of the relationship because I make more money than him. I don't. I would rather be alone. I would rather pay for myself and take my own trips than having to pay for you and have you resent me for it because you're not making as much money as me. Get the fuck out of my face. No, really. Get the fuck out of my face.